Hi everyone, Eileen here. Okay, I'm filming today 2 videos. This one to share with you on Saturday for Lavinia stamps, and also another one to share with you on Sunday for Lavinia stamps. Now this uses the absolutely fabulous Lunar Lights stamp, along with the word stamps, Fairy Wishes and Angel Kisses. In fact, I think it's in the catalogue as Fairy Wishes Large. And then also one of the fairly new stencils or a mask. So let me show you how. I've taken a piece of multifarious cardstock from Lavinia Stamps in white. It's A4 size. I've folded it, creased it lengthways, and I've cut it to 16 centimetres in width by, 16 centimetres in length by 10.5 centimetres in width. Get it right, Eileen. Right, so I'm putting a piece of copy paper inside to protect the inside of it, because this is a 1-layer card, so I don't want the ink to go everywhere. And starting off with a piece of Sweet Poppy stencil tape, I'm just going to tape off a panel around about just over 1/3 of the way down the card. Pop that there. I think that's about right. It doesn't matter, give or take a few centimetres. And then I'm going to add another piece of tape just to ensure that I don't get any ink where I don't want it to be. And then using one of my large brushes from Sweet Poppy Stencils, these are makeup brushes and I use them for blending, I'm just going to pop on some blue, if I can get the brush open, and in Distress Ink, and I'm using Faded Jeans and Speckled Egg. So starting off with the Faded Jeans. Now this is a very wet pad and it's a dark colour, so I really don't want too much of this. I'm just coming up from the bottom, very lightly, going right across. Do a circular motion, it gives you a good blend that way. Just popping it on, and then perhaps a little bit more, but take off the first couple of bits. And then coming up, not straight across, you don't really want stripes, so coming up on the right hand side a bit more, so that it's an uneven blended area. And then moving to Speckled Egg. I need a piece of textured kitchen towel just to rub off that top layer of Faded Jeans ink, and then onto Speckled Egg. So then that way I just use the same brush. This one I'm not too concerned about because it isn't so wet as the other one, and I'm just going further up the card, but not right to the top. I want a sort of a fade out, and going back over the Faded Jeans area as well, so it blends in and smooth that out like so. I've got a nice blue tone there. That should be okay. Just carry on blending until you've got the colour as deep as you would like it. Pop that out. And then I'm moving on to Wild Honey. Normal Distress Ink again. Another makeup brush from Sweet Poppy Stencils, and this is the one that I use for my orange tones. And I'm also using one of the Lavinia Stamps new masks, and this one is Tall Leaf mask, and I really love this. So just popping that down, and I would like that to sort of be in the coloured area and also along the bottom. So I'm popping that down like so. So I've still got a fair amount of white card on the card front itself. And then I'm just popping down a piece of stencil tape just to hold that leaf in place. So I try not to move it. Right, Wild Honey, large brush. And this is quick, this is blink and you'll miss it. So I'm just bringing it down, keeping it inside the masked area. Don't take it outside. Well, you can if you want, it's your card. I'm just being a bit bossy there. But the look I want, it means that the orange is all retained in this area. There we go. It's a bit darker, the orange, than my original card, but that's fine, no matter. And that's quite a nice... Oh, now, I've missed a bit up this end, really. I could do with popping that back in and just bringing that up like so. Let's have a look now. Yes, that's better. Right. Away that goes. And then on to stamping, and I've got my stamping mat here, foam mat beneath my work, or beneath the copy paper. And you can use stamp press if you feel more comfortable with it, but I'm using acrylic blocks and the beautiful lunar lights. And here it is. Or it was. I don't know where I've put it now. Oh dear. Right. Stand by your desks. I won't be long. It was hiding from me. No, well, actually, it wasn't hiding from me. It's one of those occasions where you think you've lost something and it's staring you in the face and you're not seeing it. And this is what happened here. Right, lunar lights. And the ink that I'm using is VersaFine Clair Twilight, so I want to keep sort of the blue tones theme going through. Inking up using, and I'll be using the first generation ink. Gentle tapping. Just getting rid of the surplus ink from around my block. And then down onto the card. And this first one is over, right over towards the left-hand side. But it's stamping off the card itself. And it's just down a little bit there to take it into the white spaced area. Gentle pressure and then up. That's lovely. Inking up again, because none of the images or none of the the stamped images that I'm doing with this stamp will be other than first generation ink, so that it really gets a good, you know, stage. So this one isn't coming down quite so far, so stamping next to the first image, but altering the height. And that one's just about there. Sun's coming out now. Oh, it was raining earlier on. Loads of it. Filled up the pond. That's handy and healthy. Right, down we go. That's great. And then finally, another inking on the same stamp, just on the bottom here, to give me the rule of 3 images. And that one as well. And again, just wiping off any surplus ink on the stamp or the block. And then just popping that into this corner here. Try not to move or rock my stamp now, because if I do, I've got to start all over again. Ah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Maybe this image could be over a little bit more, a bit closer, but nah, that's fine. The next stamp that I'm doing, using again Versifying Clear Twilight, Fairy Wishes and Angel Kisses. And I'm going to try and get, the right way up would help. I'm going to try and get the end of this right on that line. Pressing down, not too much, and up. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, happy with that. Now moving all of this inky stuff out. I'm now going to give the card just a quick blast with a heat gun, just checking my fingers. Go again. The card looks a bit bent and buckled, but as it cools down, it will be fine, I promise you. And now I just want to add a bit of interest. Now, I have a friend, Pat. Hi, Patsy. Pat is my artist guru. I don't want to show off with the friends I've got, but she's got a degree in art, you know. And she gives me tips and advice and hints, and this is one of her tips. She said, if you want people to follow your artwork around the page and really look at your card, you need to add some interest, but in 3 areas. And she advised me to use some orange in one of the blue areas, and then some blue in the orange area, and that should spin around and take your eye around. And there's a little bit of orange going to be added in that area as well, but you mustn't overdo it, according to Patsy. Is that right, Pat? Right, and that's the story of my life, overdoing things. So I'm going to put a little bit of, that's the reason for drying off your card, so that the ink then won't run. So I'm just using polychromos, and just in 3 areas of this, not the whole flower. I'm just putting in some darker orange and then going over with some lighter orange. Okay, so that orange then will balance out with the orange of this mask. That's the plan. And then I need the eye to be drawn and to bring some of the blue from the top of the card into this area. So spinning that round, checking fingers, I'm now going to just add a tiny amount, and I'm holding the pencil very right to the end so that it's lighter pressure on the nib. And I'm just going to come up just very lightly. I've got a blender pencil and I'll be using that in a moment, up towards the top of this part of the image of the mask, almost to the end. It doesn't look very neat at the moment, but you need to neaten it off, and you can make this stripe as large as you like, so you can increase the penciled part of it until you're happy with it. So that is the lighter of the two blues that I'm using, and I think that I've got quite a nice curve there. Okay, and then I'm using a darker pencil, and this one is Prussian blue, again polychromos, but you can use any pencils that you like. I mean, I'm using pencils, as you know, because I can rub them out if I make a mistake, but you can use any pencils that you want if you want to have a go at this. Just trying to keep on the line and not go over into the next bit of the white space, like so, with the darker bit to give it a bit of shadow. I think that's what we're after. All right, now I've got a Derwent blender pencil, and I'm not quite sure what this end tip is made of. It feels like a bit of an eraser, but harder. I don't know what it is, what the material is, but I do know that it just blends the colours in together and smooths them out. Now, sometimes I use this with a liquid as well. Not the pencil, I use a stub. I will use a liquid. Can't remember what it's called now, but you will all know what I mean. Or some of you will that use it. And a paper stub, and you can smooth out loads of crayoned images and lines, etc. So that just smooths out that blue. And thank you, Pat, because I think that that makes quite a large difference. That blue stripe in particular makes quite a large difference. Now, for my third part of adding colour, I'm just going to add a bit more orange onto this image of the lanterns here. So the eye's sort of going round. That's what I think Pat is after. Well, that's what I'm after. Do you get what I mean? I hope so. I mean, I'm not brilliant at this. I know I'm not. But I am still learning, and every time I learn, I try to pass it on to you as well. So we're all in it together, aren't we? I'm going back to Pat now and snitch a few more tips, okay? Watch this space. Right, I finished. So I'm just going to get my display board out, pop on the card that I've just made, pop on the card that I did yesterday. This is a stronger orange here, and I think I like that more, but I still love this one as well. Okay. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for looking at and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Really is appreciated, and all the wonderful comments on Facebook as well. Love you all. Thank you. Bye for now.